What's your reply to those who say if the USA doesn't, they will? Yeah, yeah, they will. I say, so what? One of the funniest aspects of like American imperial dominance is that it's presented somehow as though it's like unimaginably beneficial to the average person when you live in the heart of empire and you can't even get free healthcare. Like, what are we talking about?
Whoever controls the oceans has the power. And here in the high north, a new ocean is being born.
Yeah, Greenland. People in Greenland are killing themselves. And you know what will save them? For-profit healthcare.
I'm wandering through a graveyard of American military equipment on the largest island in the world. Like, what I'm seeing here is just a bunch of American military infrastructure that was set up during World War II, used during the Cold War, and now it's just abandoned. It's like this massive dish that was a part of the Cold War defense in the Arctic that the US used, creating a chain of radar so that if the Soviets invaded from the Arctic, they would be able to detect it.
I mean, that's the major reason, because China and Russia are conducting military. They're conducting joint operations. They're conducting joint military operations on the Arctic corner. So that is terrifying for America, and that is the major reason why they want to control Greenland, I suspect.
This giant dish is one of those radar boosters. After the Cold War, the US sold this town and all of its buildings back to the Greenlandic government for $1. They didn't need it anymore. That's because the world was at peace. Everything was good. And the Arctic, you know, was just a frozen place that now, with the Soviet Union falling apart, was not strategically that important. But things are changing. I want to show you what this looks like, what it actually looks like on the ground here in Greenland, get you up to speed on everything you need to know to understand what is certainly going to be one of the most important geopolitical issues for years to come.
Looming war in the Arctic is a massive military buildup.
What happens in the Arctic Circle could have far-reaching implications for us all.
I'm at an airport in rural Greenland. It's like in this fjord system near the village of Umanak. And I'm realizing that I need to let you in on something, which is today's video is sponsored by Storyblocks. I've been using Storyblocks for a decade. Here from Greenland, and hopefully you'll be because there's movie boards.
It's an older video, so the ad is rendered useless.
Communities, hunting for seals and birds, riding on dog sleds, getting to know how ice works. Ice is way more complicated than you can imagine, and the people here know it very well. And filling in my gap of knowledge. It's a gap of knowledge that I think a lot of people have. Like, a lot of people know Greenland for memes about how little is known about Greenland. Or maybe you know it as the island that is always exaggerated in its size by the Mercator map projection. But maybe that's probably just map nerds who think of it that way. But anyway, the fact is this place is not very well known or understood. But I'm telling you, that is about to change. The top of our planet is a giant ocean. For centuries, empires who control the oceans are the ones that had the power, but not up here. This ocean has always been frozen, desolate, and inaccessible to powerful navies in search of power and influence. So the Arctic has remained a geopolitically quiet place. This is one reason why Inuit traditions have been able to stay alive here. Though that's a whole nuanced subject, and I went on a deep dive in another video I made from Greenland. The fact is that things are changing. A new man-made blanket of carbon is now in the air, and it's been trapping more and more heat on our globe and warming it. Just a few degrees, but somehow enough to change everything. Here's what the ice up here looked like at its lowest point in the 80s. And here's what it looked like at its lowest point last year. Yeah, and this new ocean in the high north is heating 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. And where there are liquid oceans, there will be countries looking to control those oceans. The new shipping routes, the oil and gas, the minerals, and just generally the opportunity to control and influence.
Dude, the climate apocalypse has yielded new, endless, bountiful opportunities. As the polar ice caps melt, who knows what kind of natural resources we will find underneath. New opportunities for war, new territorial expansions. I mean, never let a crisis go to waste, you know?
a new place. So you've got Canada, who's laying claim to the Northwest Passage, saying that this valuable new shipping route cuts right through there.
When the Arctic melts away, Russia will likely have more warm water ports. They literally only have one Crimea. Well, they kind of had two, but the second one, I don't know if you know this, but let me tell you a thing about Syria, okay? Crimea was the one that was directly, I guess, connected, that they took over in its entirety. And then they lost the other one that was a loner. They plan to return to Syria, I think. Well, we'll see. I'm a Greenlander, Inuit, your only Greenlandic viewer. Suicide rates are a product of Denmark and its colonization, but things are not that bad up here, and no one seriously wants to be a part of the U.S. Oh, get ready, chatter. Get ready for some fucking sweet healthcare, dude. Some healthcare justice. I'm sorry. Greenland does not deserve that. Nobody does, really. Like, maybe Canada, but definitely not Greenland.
Their territory and should be theirs. You've got Russia with all these military bases dotting their Arctic frontier. They're also claiming all of this ocean, all the way up to the North Pole. They even put a flag on the ocean floor a few years ago. The US is spending over $1 billion to buy and build icebreaker ships to patrol the Arctic. And even the rising superpower China, a non-Arctic nation, is trying to get in on the influence up here, working with their ally Russia to create an ice silk road, investing $10 billion in projects across the Nordic region.
They want to control over Greenland so they can plunder the Arctic. Remember, Pompeo's melting ice is opening up new routes for shipping. Greenland gives them greater claim to Arctic Council authority. No coincidence, he's also talking about Panama Canal control at the same time. If you can't keep up with the other cards, you just gain control over the roads. Beautifully put. Succinct.
So yeah, lots of activity happening all over this region. I've just scratched the surface on a few highlights.
Especially if you can't keep up with the other cars and and the other party, the major competitor, is also taking a lot of initiative in controlling the roads as well.
Here. But the fact is the Arctic is getting a lot of attention, and one major focus is here in Greenland, a place that has been pretty ignored by great powers. Until there's something they need, or there's something to gain, which is exactly what's becoming the case as the ice melts and this new ocean appears.
What's your reply to those who say if the USA doesn't, they will? Yeah, yeah, they will. I say, so what? One of the funniest aspects of like American imperial dominance is that it's presented somehow as though it's like unimaginably beneficial to the average person when you live in the heart of empire and you can't even get free healthcare. Like, what are we talking about? What the are we talking about? It doesn't make sense. Like, you don't even get the benefit from America's dominance all around the planet, and you're over here acting like you have an investment in America's continued dominance over the world. The idea is that if someone else takes control over it, then they will do to us what we've done to them. There's not a lot of evidence to suggest that that would happen. That's number one. And number two, like, think about the ways that people in China currently exist. Like, do you think their lives are horrifically dominated? Are they treated like the global south? Do you think that America will be treated like the global south? At most, it'll be like England. Okay, I take that back. That's a fate worse than death. I've realized that is actually really bad. Never mind. Oh my God, we could be like England.
Are you a global superpower looking to project influence in the newly opening Arctic? Look no further than Greenland, the gateway to the Arctic Ocean.
Most of Greenland.
What? You are a racist Nazi and you know it. The things you have said and the senseless hate that you have spread on my people and my nation is disgusting. I only take shelter in the knowledge that the hottest place in hell is waiting for you, Nazi. Wait, first of all, that doesn't make any sense. Are you trying to say that I'm anti-Semitic and that you are a Jewish man residing in Israel? Because if that's the case, what the f are you talking about hell and burning in hellfire? Do you believe that there is a hell? Like, what? This is not making any sense. Of course, you dumbass. Interesting. We have hell in my religion. I love that they ended their message with another Nazi stinger to drive the point home. Because you said England is worse than death. He's from Greenland. Yeah, I don't get it. Can my Jewish chatters chime in here? I don't think Jews believe in hell, but maybe I'm wrong. Tell me that's not anti-Semitism. What has happened that is anti-Semitic? I'm from Israel. Okay. No, I assumed the hottest place in hell is waiting for you. I can't tell if you're LARPing. I feel like you're LARPing. I'm from Israel. I saw a clip. Chatter's going to freak out when he finds out that there are Israeli Jews in this community as well. Dude, I think this has to be just more American brain rot. We got Jewish dudes in Israel talking about burning in hell and shit. Like, how does that happen? Dog, we literally only have purgatory, and once you stop being a dick in purgatory, you go to heaven. We are very forgiving. Well, this guy seems to think that there is a hell in Judaism, and I will burn in eternal damnation in it. Kind of sounds like a fucking Christian evangelical. Perhaps one clip does not a person make. Yeah, I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused by all of this. But I'm actually going to go play some Marvel Rivals right now, so